You know, I was thinking on the drive home. You know, I was thinking on the drive into work.
What?
Cars are a waste of space. Like, everything about it. We don't need cars. We don't need maps. Where we're going, we don't need anything.
Oh, okay. I don't really want to walk everywhere, but okay.
No, we'd have everything would be transit.
Oh, like, we'd have like superpowers where we just...
teleportation.
Yeah,
we'll get it figured out.
Portals.
Or we'd just be vampires and we can all fly. But you know what? Let's move on to the summer blockbuster bracket.
Yeah, it's back.
If you somehow watched last year, it was a train wreck, but we picked our choices. This year, we're a little more prepared.
Yeah, we've gotten rid of Zach.
We've gotten rid of Zach because he was the problem, not us.
I bet we're going to be pretty aligned, you know.
But let me throw it up on the screen now so you see the bracket. As you see here, there are some movies on here that I just put on here because we knew they were going to lose to other movies like Megan 2.0, the Smurfs movie. Sorry, you're getting defeated by Jurassic World. But yeah, the first round, it feels like. Let me look at yours.
Let's just like last year was a lot of like, not just straight up sequels. Yeah. There wasn't a lot of Marvel. Mm-hmm. There was no DC, I don't think.
No, there wasn't. Yeah, they took
and
it's like,
and there's no and it was like there were things like Twisters and Bad Boys. Like it wasn't. Yeah. You know, there wasn't a very obvious, like, look at these cash grabs.
But when you look at 2025, you're like, well, there's no way that Jurassic World Rebirth isn't getting to the finals. But then I'm looking at your list. But anyways, let's go through.
Let's just say, because I think there was some confusion last year with me. We're talking worldwide.
Yes, worldwide.
This is not just domestic, worldwide, and I think that's where that played into my decisions. Yes, okay, first round.
So yeah, first round, we all have the same pick. Okay. So Jurassic World's making it.
Yep.
F1's defeating Thunderbolts, but that I think it'd be much closer than people think.
Well, I think F1 takes it because of worldwide.
Yeah. Superman, obviously, over Karate Kid. Fantastic Four, I think barely over 28 years later. I think 28 years later is going to be a shock.
It's going to do numbers, yeah.
But if it doesn't, it's also not a shock.
Yeah, it's also like, I wonder how it ends, if it's supposed to set up for sequels, you know?
We'll see. Lilo and Stitch live action, I mean, obviously.
Well, that's just going to, you know.
And then How to Train Your Dragon was a box office destroyer when it was animated, so.
Also a movie that they showed at CinemaCon in its entirety, and people went crazy for it.
Really?
And that's how confident they are in this movie, that they're like, hey, cinema people and media outlets, like, here you go. Like, we're gonna show the whole. I mean, that's bold. That's like bold. You know you've got to hit. Yeah, you know you've got to hit when they're like, hey, 2 to 3 months before the movie's really out, we're just gonna show you the whole thing.
And then obviously, I don't think Ballerina has a good shot, but also Mission Impossible, final Mission Impossible.
Yes.
So it's got to make bank despite what happened to the last one. And then Bad Guys 2. I think is the sleeper hit of the year.
Not a sleeper hit that's gonna go all the way, but I mean, you gotta remember, Bad Guys 1. That's still like we were coming out of COVID. Yeah. So it was very much, it's in theaters, but it's also, you know, we just threw it onto PVOD. Mm-hmm. And it's a great movie. And I'm like super excited, so.
But then we get to the semifinals, we also picked the same.
Okay.
I'm just fast forwarding a little bit. So then into the semifinals, we got Jurassic World, because obvious. Fantastic Four beating Superman.
Yep.
Now this is the one we got to talk about a little bit.
That's fine.
Because I think, while Superman, it does look like it's going to capture a younger audience finally after them trying forever. At the end of the day, Fantastic...
It's not Zack Snyder, you know?
But at the end of the day, I think Fantastic Four's got more juice behind it.
Yeah.
1, you got Pedro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
2, you got Marvel Rivals and the Thing meme. Here's the Thing.
Yeah, here's the thing.
Then you also have Joseph Quinn.
Yeah.
He's very hot right now.
Well, and so, I mean... And then Emma Moss Baccarat is, I mean, like, this is coming out, I think, just maybe weeks after The Bear Season 4 drops, too.
Right.
Yeah. So, like, Last of Us will end. The Bear will end.
Thunderbolts will have come out.
Thunderbolts will be
setting up Doomsday. This sets up Doomsday even more. Yeah. Superman, we don't know what it's setting up.
Yeah, and I think... And I give it more to Fantastic Four because of... Superman is in a tough spot, release day. That, like, you have Jurassic World... the week before,
Yep.
Then it's Superman. Then it's Fantastic Four. You got to give a little bit of an edge to that. Like Fantastic Four will like continue, much like the Silver Surfer, will just ride the rest of the summer wave until we get to like maybe like past August. Another thing though too, Disney is not big about just dropping something on the PVOD. They will let it sit.
Yeah, they will. They will. Yeah.
Until they are ready to drop it onto Disney Plus. And Warner Brothers, depending on the movie, is kind of just like, okay, here you go, it's on Max.
Yeah, and if you think of Guardians 3, which didn't do well to start off, it stuck around for a while because it was good.
Yeah.
So you have to think of like Marvel, if they have a good movie, it will stick around much longer, even if the box office opening weekend isn't that great.
Yeah, I will give Warner Brothers a little bit of this, that they do have a little bit of a cushion from Minecraft. They do have what could be a cushion from Sinners.
Yeah.
They're clearly maybe in a run where they're like, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't panic. Maybe we don't. Maybe we don't, because for the last couple of years they've hit the panic button, and it kind of just, here it is. It's free. It's just free now, you know. And it's like, maybe with Minecraft and hopefully Sinners, they're just like, hey, let's sit on it because we could still be making a ton of money.
Maybe, yeah. But also, you already alluded to it. The Snyder Bros are going to sit this one out.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
Good, all 40 of them?
Yeah. Look, let's not get them after us. But at the end of the day, no matter who wins this round, the scores on both are going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Especially Fantastic Four.
Oh, I'm like amped about that.
But Superman has the most iconic superhero song of all time. And then we have Lilo and Stitch beating How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, Lilo, and again, that is purely that like we've had maybe 10 extra years almost.
Yeah.
Stitch has maybe 10 years on How to Train Your Dragon, and it's just been around. And Stitch is just freaking everywhere, and people love him. And you've got millennials who will take like their kids because they still love it. I mean, we'll get to it, but I kind of think Stitch is gonna be the winner.
You think it's gonna be the winner?
I think it's gonna be the winner.
You learned your lesson from last year, not picking a kids movie.
I will say, Twisters and Bad Boys did pretty well.
They did do well. Twisters did not do well internationally, but domestically, which is apparently
so strange to think that tornadoes just aren't kind of a thing in some parts of the world, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of
weird.
It's not only American because they happen in Europe sometimes, but it is a uniquely American thing.
Yeah, where like people in some countries are like, I don't understand this.
Yeah. But then we have Mission Impossible beating Bad Guys 2. Yeah. So the semifinals, just to recap: Rebirth, Jurassic World Rebirth versus Fantastic Four, Lilo and Stitch versus Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
And now this is where we get a little bit different.
Okay.
And I would like you to explain why Fantastic Four is going to beat Jurassic World Rebirth.
I think there's a couple things. One, let's just get out of the way. The last Jurassic World movie was not good. While it
was not.
The last 3 Jurassic World movies, not great. I don't really know why they've stuck to Jurassic World branding on this one. One, I think it's got baggage from Jurassic World, even though those movies make a ton of money.
$1 billion every time.
Yeah. I just think that we may be at the point where it's like, ooh, are we still doing this? And it does butt up a little bit to the same Superman issue of like, it is Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible, and there's like a week, and I can't remember what comes out that week, and then it is Jurassic World, Superman, Fantastic Four. That Superman will take a little bit of that, Fantastic Four will take a little bit of that, and then by the time that you really kind of, and Stitch will still be probably dunking on everyone.
Yeah.
And I just think that eventually it's gonna lose the magic. I just also I love Jurassic Park, but it's just time to admit that the first one is the best one, and that we should probably treat Jurassic Park like we treat Jaws, where it's like, yeah, there are sequels, but they're not great.
Let's say it makes only 200 domestically. It's gonna make like 700 million internationally.
It'll be big.
It is gonna, and Scarlett Johansson, she is kind of a box office draw.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali's in this thing.
I mean, Jonathan Bailey. Big year for Jonathan Bailey, who will be in Wicked Part 2 later this year. But
so there is a chance.
Yeah.
That's why I pick it.
And this is me, 100% being like, maybe, like after seeing that last Fantastic Four trailer, being like, okay, this is it.
They got something.
I'm in, and I'm ready to go. And yeah, maybe I'm completely wrong.
Yeah. But I think, moving on, we both pick Lilo to beat Mission Impossible. Partly because the last Mission Impossible didn't bomb at the box office, but it underperformed.
Yeah.
And you think about Lilo and Stitch, you've already alluded to it. this thing has mileage.
Yeah.
It's got a funny, cute alien.
Yeah.
It's got big set pieces.
Yep.
Well, I haven't seen any of the trailers or anything, and it's animated live action, which, just having watched Mufasa recently, that thing stuck around for a long time.
And I think too, I don't love Disney live action remakes, but if you can find something, like if you can find one that is good, like I was rewatching Aladdin the other day with Eleanor, and I'm like, this actually, I remember liking it at the time. I'm like, this is actually pretty solid.
Yeah.
Because it's different enough, and it isn't just like, look at these animals. It's 100% like Stitch, the one character, just like the genie, the one character you need to be a little bit that is out of this world is enough out of this world where you're not gonna be like, I don't like this. It's just too realistic. Stitch looks like Stitch. I also think like when you bring back the original creator for it, it'll be big. It's just also undeniable, the power of Stitch, and it's summer. You're talking about a movie that like some kids could go see 3 or 4 times.
Yeah. So your final four is Fantastic Four versus Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, my finals. Yeah.
So who are you going? Stitch.
Oh, I go Stitch.
Okay.
Yeah, and you gotta remember too, just like we've talked about having enough runway.
Yeah.
Stitch comes out. It's also interesting that we have Stitch and Mission Impossible both coming out the same day.
Yeah, I know.
And they're up against each other.
It is the Barbenheimer of the year.
I mean, as much as I want like adults to rally and to be like, we're gonna go see Mission Impossible 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
Or
It doesn't have the juice of Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah. Well, and that's what's so crazy is that like we have a Top Gun Maverick sitting here.
Yeah.
In F1, I just don't know. Like, there's no Tom Cruise. It is Brad Pitt.
But it's a racing movie, I have not seen many racing movies do well at the box office.
It's also that F1 costs like $300 million
it has to make a lot of money back,
and it's an Apple movie. Like, this isn't even like like this could if F1, even if it does well, could very much be on Apple TV
in like 2 weeks
by the end of the summer. As much as I would fist pump if Fantastic Four was the winner. I just don't think. I think we're past the Marvel dominates the summer until you get a big one like Doomsday.
Well, yeah, Doomsday is gonna dominate next year. But
that's next year.
Yeah, it's next year, and then the year after.
Weird.
So yeah, my final two is Jurassic World Rebirth versus Lilo and Stitch. Last year I picked a kids movie, but the power of the dinosaur overseas is powerful.
Yeah.
And as we discussed off camera last week, Jurassic World's the only dinosaur stuff we got out here that has survived.
So life finds a way.
Life finds a way.
And I think, I would love nothing more for this movie to be so good, so much fun, make a gajillion dollars, and for Gareth Edwards to finally be treated with some dang respect.
But just watching the trailers, you're like, the writing's not great.
It'll be interesting to see Kep back. That it's him and Kep, and you're like, okay, well, and I know he had a huge hand in writing like he put some of that iconic stuff. I want to say the Alan Grant arc is Kep, but you're just like, I don't know, like, what are we doing? I'm like in the middle of like a Jurassic Park rewatch, anyways, and you just forget how like small the movie is.
Yeah.
For something that feels so big. And I just don't know if, I think we've lost it. I think we've lost the narrative on Jurassic World, Jurassic movies.
Let me give you a hot take for the Jurassic World trilogy. Well, I guess which is now going to be a quadrilogy. Yeah. Here's my take. Here's my hot take.
Okay.
I think they should have leaned more into the locust stuff. Obviously, then it doesn't become a Jurassic World movie. But, they clone, or I can't even remember how they do it, but they, prehistoric locusts.
Yeah.
That to me is a much more interesting plot of they destroy the entire world in their pursuit of just making dinosaurs come back.
Here's my super hot take.
Yeah.
I think we end the whole franchise. I mean, done.
Nuke it.
By being like, hey, the last movie is God just being like, hey, I dealt with this millions of years ago, and you brought it back, so guess what? Another meteor shower. Boom, world's done.
Okay, and who do you have playing God in this scenario? Or is it sort of like an omniscient,
Is Chris Pratt free?
That would be a fun end.
You know, it's just like, hey, guess what? You brought him back, so now you've brought your end upon yourself.
I brought the same meteor.
You know what? It's a little bit like an Oppenheimer story. That's what the grand scheme.
What have we brought upon ourselves?
Yeah, destroy Jurassic World.
Yeah. Some people would like it to be destroyed. But you got Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
I got Jurassic World Rebirth.
Zach's probably got, F1, and then we're all gonna look idiots.
Yeah, he probably has F1.
We've got a copy.
We have a copy, and I was like, man, I don't know. He lost badly last time. But yes, please comment what you think is going to be the box office hit of the summer. Not necessarily what's going to be the best like we chose, but what do you think is going to be like, hey, how the heck did this thing make 500 million worldwide?
I think we're also forgetting about the power of Megan.
Megan 2.0.
And the power of dance.
Look, now let's talk Megan 2.0 just really fast.
She deserves it.
I love that they're just ripping off Terminator 2.
Sure. I love it. I love it too. Will I go see it in theaters? I'm not sure.
I saw the first one in theaters.
Yeah,
so why not?
I saw the first one on Peacock, I think. I'm just not sure.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Anyways, it's a good. Well, I don't even know if it's going to be a good year for movies, but hey, you know what?
I mean, it's April and we're just now being like, there's a good one.
Yeah.